You are listening to 89.5 North Star FM Radio. Tatak K, Radyo Kaalamang Pang-Modular.
Good morning, Dasmariñas. Good morning, grade 5. Welcome once again to your radio classroom. The classroom on air where we deliver your lessons right in the comfort of your homes. And this is your host, Ma'am Jen Fausto. Time flies really fast, and we only have few remaining weeks for the third quarter. Before we knew it, we will be starting quarter 4. I hope that you are all doing well. So join me today as we travel to other countries and discover the different time zones in the world. What are you waiting for? So boost that energy, settle down, and find a comfortable position. And if you're ready, hold that modules of yours. Grab your paper and pen, and this is Mathematics 5, Quarter 3, Week 7. In this week's lesson, you will learn about measuring time using a 12-hour and a 24-hour clock, calculating time in the different world time zones in relation to the Philippines, and solving problems involving time. Aside from your module, paper and pen, it will be nice if you have a clock beside you to better understand this lesson. If I ask you what time is it, you would probably answer 11 a.m. What time did you sleep last night? You will say 8 p.m. Notice that a.m. and p.m. are placed at the end to denote whether the time is in the morning or afternoon. They are abbreviations when the 12-hour clock is used. Anti-meridian, a.m. means this time after 12 midnight and before 12 noon. So 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 a.m. Post-meridian, p.m. means this time is after 12 noon and before 12 midnight. So 12:01 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. Meanwhile, the 24-hour clock, oftentimes called the military clock, since soldiers are the ones who mostly use it, does not require a.m. or p.m. to be written after the time, as it starts at 00, which is 12 midnight. Then back to 00 after 23:59 or 11:59 p.m. Instead, H, capital letter H, or hours is placed at the end to indicate the use of the 24-hour clock format. In the 12-hour clock, when both the longhand and shorthand of the clock points to 12 at night, we read it as 12 midnight. In the 24-hour clock, we say 00H or hour. In the 24-hour clock, when both the longhand and shorthands of the clock points at 12 noon, we say 12 noon, while in the 24-hour clock we say 12H. In between both times, 12:01 is 01H in the 24-hour clock. 1:20 a.m. in the 24-hour clock is 1:20H. While 1:20 p.m. in the 24-hour clock is 1 plus 12 hours equals 13, followed by the minute reading is 13:20H. Now we often hear military men say 1320 hours. If you have a clock beside you, try to look at it. The long hand is the hour hand, while the short hand is the minute hand. So the 12-hour clock is what we normally use and what was taught to you in the lower levels. After 12 midnight, half of the day, we say 12:01 a.m., 1:30 a.m., 2 a.m., 3:58 a.m. Until the clock ticks at 12 noon, we say 12:05 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and the cycle goes on. Now while in the 24-hour clock, 12 midnight is said to be 00H. 12:01 a.m. is 01H. 11:59 a.m. is 11:59H. Afternoon, we say 12:01 p.m. as 12:01H. 1 p.m. is 13H. 1:30 p.m. is 13:30H. Now notice that we add 12 hours to the hour reading. So measuring time can be fun with that twist, isn't it? Have you been to Manila International Airport, or MIA or MIA? If you have been, you've probably seen the clocks with different times at different places in the world. What causes this? Different times at different places in the world are caused by the movement of the Earth. Yes, you heard me right. The Earth where we live in is moving at 15 degrees longitude every hour. Since there are 24 hours in the day, there are 24 standard zones. 24 hours multiplied by 15 degrees for a total of 360 degrees. That means the Earth had made one complete rotation. To see the relationship of time in certain places to the time in our country, you may want to check the time difference of a certain country to our country. Hawaii, USA is 18 hours behind the Philippines, meaning if it is 11 a.m. now here in the Philippines, subtract 18 hours to our time. You may want to count the time backwards. Your guess is as good as mine. It's 5 a.m. of yesterday, meaning it's Wednesday in Hawaii while it's 11 a.m. from where we are. Doesn't that excite you? So you may like thinking twice of calling your relative at 8 a.m. because they are still probably asleep, since it's 2 a.m. in their place. Would you like to travel? Ride the plane now. Let's go to Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo, Japan is 1 hour ahead of us. What time is it now in Tokyo? Yes, 12 noon in Tokyo. That's how fascinating the world is. Different times at different zones of the world. Now let's try solving word problems involving time. Listen. A movie begins at 1:10 p.m. and lasts for 2 hours and 40 minutes. At what time does it finish? What I know, 1:10 p.m. the movie begins. The movie will show for 2 hours and 40 minutes. What I want to know, time when the movie will finish. What I want to learn, to find the time when the show will end. Add the time it started to the time showing. 1 hour 10 minutes plus 2 hours and 40 minutes equals 3 hours and 50 minutes. Therefore, the movie will end at 3:50 p.m. Another problem. The time in Manila is 6 hours ahead of Rome. The flight from Manila to Rome takes 9 hours. If an airplane leaves Manila by 9 a.m., at what time in Rome will the plane arrive? What I know, the time in Manila is 6 hours ahead of Rome. The flight from Manila to Rome takes 9 hours. The airplane left Manila at 9 a.m. What I want to know, time when the airplane arrives in Rome. What I want to learn, add 9 hours to 9 a.m., then subtract 6 hours since Manila time is 6 hours ahead of Rome. Thus, 9 a.m. plus 9 hours equals 6 p.m. 6 p.m. minus 6 hours equals 12 noon, thus it's 12 noon in Rome. Now for the recap of this week's lesson, how do we measure the time using a 12-hour and a 24-hour clock? If the 12-hour clock format is used, AM and PM are placed beside the numbers to denote if whether the time is in the morning or afternoon. Antimeridiem or AM means this time is after midnight and before 12 noon, so 12:01 AM to 11:59 AM. Postmeridiem means this time is after 12 noon and before 12 midnight, so 12:01 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. The 24-hour clock is oftentimes called as military clock since soldiers are the ones that are mostly using it. There is no need to put AM or PM beside the time as it starts at 00, which is midnight, then back to 00 after 23:59 or 11:59 p.m. in the 12-hour clock. Instead, H or hours is placed at the end to indicate the use of the 24-hour clock format. Now remember that in calculating time in the different world time zones in relation to the Philippines, different times at different places in the world are caused by the movement of the Earth. 15 degrees longitude every hour. Since there are 24 hours in a day, there are 24 standard time zones. 24 hours multiplied by 15 degrees equals 360 degrees. Time zones are counted from the prime meridian or at 15 degrees longitude of each time zone and is counted at 15 degrees interval and extends 7.5 to the left and right of the central meridian. Now, in solving word problems involving time, you have to note the KWL. What I know, what I want to know, what I want to learn. Grade 5, this concludes our lesson for today. 1 hour per day of study in your chosen field is all it takes. 1 hour per day of study will put you at the top of your field within 3 years. Within 5 years, you'll be a national authority. In 7 years, you can be one of the best people in the world at what you do. By Earl Nightingale. So keep learning. Never give up. Not everyone is given the chance for education. So consider yourself lucky, for you have us. Thank you for joining our Radio on Air class. This has been your voice-over teacher, Ma'am Jen Fausto. Join me again next week with another fun learning activities in Mathematics 5 here on TKK 89.5 North Star FM Radio. Tatak K, radyo kaalamang pang modular, magaan na sa buhay, madali sa pag-aaral. Bye-bye everyone!